All right, PulseChain has launched. We are live. Jesus, I didn't expect it to happen, but it did happen. We have been waiting for years for this to happen, and it's here. So what we're going to do in today's video is I'm going to show you how to get on to the PulseChain, how to check your sacrifice if you did sacrifice, which was a few years back. There was an opportunity in the Hex community to take your crypto and drop it into the ether without any expectation, was the whole idea. And that expectation has now been matched, where people who did sacrifice now have crypto on PulseChain. They have it in the form of either the Pulse token or the PulseX, which is their Uniswap fork it's a DEX for exchanging tokens. If you didn't sacrifice, you can still find a one-for-one copy of your Ethereum MetaMask on PulseChain, not Binance Smart Chain, not Polygon, just Ethereum. So if you did have any tokens in the Ethereum mainnet, they will be found on PulseChain too. We're going to look at how to find those today, and we're going to check and see, exactly how much Pulse token or PulseX token do you need to become possibly a billionaire, millionaire. We won't go billion, millionaire in the coming bull run, right? Well, it's already been given by the community, which is great. So we're gonna have a look through that too. I'm gonna show you what I've been doing. I've been basically ratio swapping the two tokens and Hex also, because that's been brought over. And we have to talk about Hex a little bit because now Hex has completely changed. There's now Phex and Ehex, and Phex is Hex. We'll talk about more of that. So a couple things to talk about today about PulseChain. So let's get into it. Come to pulsechain.com, right? It's going to say PulseChain mainnet has launched. Check out the brand new Explorer, which you're going to have to check out. It's basically their Etherscan, where there's a bunch of tools and dApps which you can use. Become validator to help secure the PulseChain network. Trade your PRC20s on PulseX. Add it to your MetaMask. So click on this. It will add PulseChain to your MetaMask, and you'll see it pop up right here. So you see on this wall, I've got 400,000 Pulse token sitting here. We have some Hex. We have a bunch of stuff which I've brought over, right? I'm going to show you how to do that. It's all coming right from Hex, which was or still is a crypto asset that's on the Ethereum network. If we come and see Hex on CoinMarketCap, you're going to see a huge 7-day dump of 45%. Right? This was very much a buy the rumor, sell the news scenario with what's going on with Hex. It's also because you'll see over on PulseChain, right? This is PulseChain. I have 5,000 Hex, which was bridged over on this wallet from the Ether chain. So now the logic for Hex is kind of changed. Let me try to explain the logic. I have a thing. Right, here's the thing. Now, Hex is now Phex, which means the PulseChain Hex is now the real Hex. And the Hex that we were just looking at on the Ethereum network is now called Ehex, and it's not the real Hex. It is real Hex, but it's not the main Hex. The main granddaddy Hex, right, is now Phex on PulseChain. That's why I think that the value of the Ethereum Hex is plummeting, because people are just selling it. Because they just got their Hex copied over to the PulseChain, right? So therefore they're like, okay, great, I've got it over there, I'm going to use it there. I think that's why a lot of people are selling it. I'm going to keep both. Why not? Why not? Also, let me remove my head here. Very important if we're talking about the PulseX token. Bye-bye head, right? PulseX token is deflationary. Very important thing to know. If you're thinking which one you want to buy, which one you want to hold, which one is going to give you massive gains. Is it going to be Hex? Is it going to be Pulse? Or is it going to be PulseX, right? Which one is going to give you the biggest gains? And a lot of people are saying it's either going to be Hex or PulseX. Not as many people are saying it's going to be PulseChain token. But Richard Hart is known for making tokens which pump. He's known for this. So I'm pretty confident that hopefully we're going to see all of them pump in the bull market, and we might see a really, really choppy bit of volatility on all of these in the next coming weeks. So just hold on, buckle up, because we don't know if they're going up or down. My idea is just to try and acquire as much of these as possible. I am talking like millions of them. And then hopefully that's what's going to kick in the bull market. And then we're going to look back on these days of like accumulation think, nice, right? You know, if you did that with Ethereum when it was under $300, you are sitting pretty today. If you did it with Bitcoin when it was under $1,000, you're sitting pretty today. If you do it with PulseX and PulseChain, might just do this. Of course, other people do say that PulseChain is pretty crap when you compare it to other blockchain solutions, but these other blockchain solutions don't have the community that Hex does. And that's the most bullish part about this. People, they finally have somewhere to build and play. And that's the great thing about it. So let's have a look at what we can do. Before we get into that, I do have a giveaway to announce. This is the last day. We have 23 hours left of our Shitcoin Club, which is an NFT collection which is launching on the 23rd of May 2023. Okay, that is, we come to the website for my NFT collection. That is in 8 days and 13 hours away. You can come to my website and collect the NFT collection, right, of Shitcoin Club poops. We are now verified on Rarity Sniper, NFT Timing, NFT Calendar, NFT Mint Radar, NFT Lens, and many more. We're going through a bunch of marketing pushes at the moment. Come join the Twitter, get into the giveaway. It's in the description of this video. You could win yourself. 2 people are going to win $100. 10 people are going to get a whitelist spot for the public mint on the 23rd of May, 2023 for 20% less, 0.08 Ethereum. And it's going to be one giveaway of a legacy NFT, which is like the original collection of them. And that's going to be one of them being given away. Rachel Poop is going to be given away too. So link in the description. You just have to complete the tasks. Already we've had 3,744 entries on this, which is massive. Biggest one so far. So that's cool to see. Win yourself some cash, some NFT, or some whitelist. That is the Shitcoin Club. Links in description. Watch out some prior videos for all that kind of stuff if you want to see it. And of course, follow us on Twitter, where, you know, we can connect, get to know each other much better. But yeah, PulseChain is live. Unbelievable stuff. I never thought I would see this day. Right, so we have a couple things to look at first. I would advise the first thing you want to do is probably check your sacrifice, right? So come to sacrifice checker, link in the description. You have 2 things you can do here. First is you can check if you did sacrifice, check it, find your sacrifice, okay? Number 2, if you didn't sacrifice, you can still scan over your tokens. So connect your wallet, get onto PulseChain like I showed you, then scan this. It's going to go through 5,000 ERC20 tokens. They're all going to compile into your MetaMask here with the ones which you own. From that point, then you can move over to Pulse Exchange and start swapping some of these and seeing if you can get any value out of them. Because of course, it's free money. For example, what I've been doing today is I've been looking at Pepe, right? Because I have quite a lot of Pepe over on Ethereum. And I was thinking, you know, if I take, you know, all my Pepe right now, I could get myself 2.6 million PulseX token, which is pretty good. You know, if I look at this chart, right, this is a chart made by a Twitter-verse guy. This is him talking about how much Pulse or PulseX you're going to need to be a millionaire in the bull market, right? He says basically if you can get yourself into Squid position, which is holding 172 million PulseX or 117 million PulseChain token, then that would be you in a pretty good situation to get yourself in as a millionaire in the bull run. Of course, if you can get up to Dolphin, Shark, Whale, or Poseidon, then you are sitting pretty anyway. You'd already be in a millionaire situation here with 1 trillion Pulse token. But you know, at the moment, I'm sitting as a crab, so I've got to get myself up to turtle first, which would be getting up to 10 million and 17 million PulseX token, right? So that's my initial aim, 17 million PulseX. On this wallet, I'm holding 2 million at the moment. So I could sell all the rest of this Pepe, right? And grab up some more PulseX. But of course, I have no idea what the price of Pepe on PulseChain is going to be because they don't have the same price. The price on Ethereum network and the price on PulseChain is completely different for every single set of tokens. We're also going to look at Zen today, but probably in another video. But one interesting thing was, right, if you come to their block explorer that we were checking, right, token transfers. First thing I did, right, was I scanned all the tokens in. Then you want to find them in your MetaMask, right? And then have a look at like, okay, so I've got anything, we've got some dust, we've got some wrapped OMI, okay? So then I'll come back, I then go all tokens, then I put in the token name, wrapped OMI, okay, enter, it's going to find it here. I'm going to click on it. 11 people have that on PulseChain, so not many people have this token, which means there's not going to be much liquidity. But then I found Pepe, right? And then Pepe had 500 holders last time I checked. Yeah, 558 holders of Pepe, right? So then you take that and then copy it, right? Copying the token, then coming to your MetaMask and then asset. Oh, sorry, coming to Pulse Exchange, and then you would paste it in, right? So just paste in the token address, right? Then it would find your Pepe. So if I was thinking about some other tokens which have been quite popular recently, like one, for example, would be, because I know that the snapshot was quite recent, right? So if we did check another one, like for example, Turbo, which I bought quite recently, is Turbo token going to be here, right? So Turbo token is also going to be here. We have token, click on it. How many holders? 36 holders of Turbo, right? So then we take that, copy it, paste it into PulseX, go boom, bang, right? Find it, understand, import, right? It's going to hold on my Turbo there. And then I say, okay, I'm going to change all that into PulseX. And there you go, right? See, that's free PulseX token, right? This could be really bad because maybe the price of Turbo will be exactly the same as it is in Ethereum, and I'm going to be underselling my assets of possibly doubling all my money. But this is early days, so I'm pretty happy just to choose some tokens which I don't think are going to have much, much potential to moon very hard on PulseChain. I'm going to just sell them out. Other things to be aware of would be gas. So here we're making our first transaction of this video, right? Gas yesterday was 0.1 Pulse token. Now today, because the volume has ramped up and people have discovered that PulseChain is launched, now we're talking 183 Pulse per transaction. I saw one, I was trying to mint on Zen, and it was costing me 16,000 Pulse for one Zen FT, which is crazy. But if I'm going to do 220 Pulse, then I might be able to sell this for much more than 220 Pulse, right? So let's do it, right? Why not? This is a way to stack yourself up to becoming that, what were we trying to be? We were trying to be one above crab. Was it turtle? What were we going for again? Squid. We're going for squid. Yeah, 17 million squid. Yeah, so that's that done. So what's the slippage going to be? I'm going to get 1.21 price impact on that. It's going to get myself 500,000 more PulseX token. So, and then boom, right? Just like say, you don't want to sell it all because you never know what's going to happen. But say you just take half, right? Or I'll take a good bunch of it, right? Sell 300,000 of it, get 382,000 more PulseX token. Boom, bang, add it to the bag, come back in the bull run, might have way more. See, what are we now? We're 2,000 Pulse token for a transaction that's going to get me 382,000 PulseX. So this could be very high risk. I did it earlier with Pepe because, of course, I showed you that Pepe has a much higher holder count, right? 500 holders, and the price on Pepe is decent, right? I think in perspective, it's decent. That's 2 million PulseX for what would now be a bag of about $2,000 worth of Pepe on the Ethereum chain. But if I go back to Ethereum, it's not going to be spending that because it's been crossed over, right? So people are adding liquidity to Pepe, basically. Then it's meaning that the PulseX is going up and down. So then I could take that and say, oh, I should have more Pulse token because I just wasted a bunch of it, right? So then I just go there, right? And then I'll take 10 billion, 100 billion Pepe, I get myself 81,000 more Pulse token. Why not? It's quite an interesting strategy. So if you do have any tokens on the Ethereum chain which are popular, you can sell them on PulseChain into PulseX and Pulse token. Other things you could do, you have your PulseX, you have your Pulse, and you have your Hex, right? Hex, I wouldn't really sell that, right? I wouldn't play with it, to be honest. Like, so the Hex I have here, I could sell it for another 2 million PulseX, right? But then why? Probably Hex is going to go up in price higher now on PulseChain than it is on the Ethereum side. So I'm just going to not touch my Hex. I'm just going to see if it moons in the bull market. I might buy more on PulseChain, actually, right? PulseChain was the one that's going to be more deflationary. So I'm going to try and get to 17 million Pulse first, and then hopefully can get to 17 million. I'm going to get to 17 million PulseX first and then get to 17 million Pulse is the idea. You could also ratio swap. So say I went for lunch, and before I went for lunch, yeah, one Pulse token was 4 PulseX, right? But now one Pulse token is 3.7. So you could just keep swapping these back and forth and trying to build the bag that way. But of course, it's not even the charts loading. So you're kind of flying blind with this. I'm just trying to stack both of them at the same time. You can add liquidity. I've added some Hex and Pulse because that's the only one so far that's in the farm section for earning. So that's me earning the incentive token. Incentive token, which you can farm for, is this here, which is also on the DEX. One incentive at the moment is worth 632,000 PulseX. And at the moment I've mined that said then one, so I've already mined 6,000 more PulseX token with a little bit of liquidity. But I didn't put too much in here. Well, what am I doing? Yeah, wait a minute. This says I have liquidity in Hex Pulse liquidity. Why did I do that? What's wrong with me? But then I'm farming with Pulse and PulseX. Okay. So that liquidity there I shouldn't have made. I'm going to remove that when the gas goes down. Okay, but you want to farm with no pools. No pools, just farms, right? So there's only one pair, and the APR is not showing yet. It's probably super degen though, because I don't have a huge amount in here, but it is farming away for me, doing pretty well. Moving on, we can also come to the blockchain explorer again. We have some other options. We have the bridge, which is not open yet. When the bridge opens, expect to see all these tokens dump in value because we are going to be getting, they will pump and then dump. I'm expecting, this is not advice, it's just what I think is going to happen, because when you realize that you have a lot of free money, what are people going to do with free money? They're going to sell that free money, right? Because it's a bear market. So expect a lot of the tokens which are being bridged, that are being reflected over, and then people are bridging over liquidity, expect prices to be very volatile. That is extremely high risk behavior if you want to try and speculate on the prices. That's why I'm just kind of trying to get as much PulseX before the bridge opens, and then kind of hodl and see the best or worst case scenarios of what's going on. One more thing to talk about, if we come PulseX, right? This was pretty interesting. Okay, so yeah, this guy says 4.5 billion PulseX burned after 375,000 transactions in less than 24 hours on PulseChain. PulseChain is almost outcompeting Ethereum on day one. We're already winning, but we haven't even begun. Pulse Ramp will go live soon and prices will appear. It's the calm before the storm. So we don't know what the prices are. We don't know what's going on. But everything's being burned and things are going insane, right? PulseX is burning 10x as much supply as Pulse currently, from what I can see. 4 billion PulseX versus 300 million Pulse. An even bigger difference is that all the burnt PulseX was bought first and then burnt. It was bought with platform fees. PulseX is constantly being removed from the circulating supply, which means it is highly deflationary and will also probably moon really hard. So that's why I would say my advice, even though it's not advice, what I'm taking as my advice for myself is to collect as much PulseX as fucking possible. Essentially, right? Trading in whatever kind of shit coins I can remember that I have. Let's try another one. Over on, I can have a look actually, right? I can come to my DGen Farmer spreadsheet, which is unlocked with your Shitcoin Club NFT. I can come to the wallet and I can choose, okay, so this one. What do I have? On the Ethereum network, I have some ETH, some REAP, Pepe, anything else of value, Turbo, Zen, try Zen. Can I sell my Zen? It'd be really funny. Don't want to sell it. I think of all things, possibly Zen is going to do pretty well. Yeah, Zen crypto. No way. How many holders? I bet there's loads. 16,000. No. Yeah, people are selling this. People are trading Zen. Interesting. Import? Yeah. Boom. Gotcha. Right, so because a lot of these tokens as well, maybe when PulseChain was initiated, Zen didn't exist, right? So that's why I don't think it came up when it was searching for my wallet for it. But yeah, so I can import that Zen. Understand? Yeah. And then so I've got, what's that, 183 billion Zen over on this, and it's only going to get me 102,000 PulseChain, right? So it's just really completely random. For example, I've got some ETH, right? 13 ETH here, and I want to send over that 13, say 1 ETH, right? 1 ETH is going to get me 3 PulseX token, whereas 1 Pepe is going to get me Or like 100 Pepe is probably going to get me the same as 1 ETH. Yeah, 1,000 Pepe is matched 1 ETH. It makes absolutely no sense. Peace. Join the club. Stay DGen. Don't get wrecked.